Well, after 2 weeks off on vacation and whatnot, I'm getting back to building the High Boy again. So I last left off by making practice moldings, crown molding across the front and the sides, and so now I'm ready to do the cherry. So I'm just repeating the steps that I did with the practice, where I've cut steps into this piece, and this will be the front molding. It's 1 3/8 by 1 3/4, whereas the side moldings are 2.5 by 1 3/4. The difference being is that the front doesn't have the OG and the sides do, which match the OG to the goosenecks that go up. So it matches at the gooseneck with the side pieces. So I'm getting ready with the hollows and rounds here and getting going on it. Well, I'm cleaning up the OG now that I've made with the hollows and rounds. And as you saw in the previous video, I used a hollow here to create this round, and a round here to create that hollow. And it did a pretty nice job across here. So what I did was I ground this putty knife that I've used before for custom molding, and what I did is I pasted one of the patterns, the OG pattern here. This way. I pasted the pattern on there and then ground it to shape on the grinder, and then I cleaned it up with a file, and if you hold it right, it makes a nice OG scraper. And I'm going to need that for the gooseneck as well, so I figured I might as well make it. But it's make a nice curlies here, and that way I'm pretty much assured that I'm going to get the shape clear across the I got a little catch there, clear across the whole molding. So that'll be scraped, and then we have flats next. There's a flat here, and a flat here, but then it becomes a cove here on the bottom for the bead. I've completed the first piece of molding. This will be cut up into 2 pieces. These are the side moldings because it has the OG on top, which is 3/4 of an inch, and then the rest of the molding matches the front. So I'm working on the front molding now, which has 3 steps in it, and then the cove. So there's really only one piece to use the hollows and rounds on here, or one shape, and that's the cove. And this screw is a little bit close there. I'll have to watch that. We don't want to nick the blade. So I've got a 1-inch round here that is cutting off the tops of the steps that I had cut in, and we're gradually taking more and more off. The shavings are getting wider. lower that one screw there, because I'm getting close to hitting it with the blade. So it's just a matter of repeating this until we get our shape, and then I'll put the bead on last. Well, I applied the molding that I had made yesterday to the upper part of the chest here, and I didn't make any videos while I was doing it because it's usually a Chinese fire drill. As I make this molding, or I mean apply this molding, I started with this piece here, and I mitered this corner to a 45, leaving that end long, and I clamped it in place. Then I cut this piece at a 45 and matched it to this corner as best I could. And then I tacked it in place with these brads. Then, while this was still loose, I then cut this side over here to match the edge there. And then when I was happy with that, I tacked it in place. So I had these two tacked in place. Then I cut the third piece of molding here and matched it to this side. And I don't know if you can see, I still haven't cut them off in the back. They're long. Let me move this over here a little bit. So they still haven't been cut off in the back. So then to mount them, since they were tacked in place, I left the nails in so they could be put back exactly where I was happy with how the miters went and so forth. I took the pieces off. This is all glued on the front piece here, so there's glue from one edge to the other along with the 3 nails that there are. The side moldings are only glued in the front here, so about 4 to 6 inches. There's glue in the front, and just a couple of nails here in the back. There is a nail here that helps keep this joint closed here, and likewise there's the nail on that corner. So I'm reasonably happy with how it went. I've got to set these nails in here with the nail set and then cut off the molding in the back, and then we'll be done with the straight pieces of molding here. And then the next thing would be to tackle the goosenecks that need to be made on either side of here.